Yes, and on ATN Entertainment, we bring to you latest entertainment news and updates. Interviews with your favorite celebrity and industry experts, performance by local artists, interactive segments including viewer polls, and my favorite part, the giveaways, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, and now, yes, for the top trending stories of today. And on Rivers crisis, the crisis is bedeviling Rivers State. We are looking at what FAST says. FAST fumes over governor's suspension. And on our next story, music. Timi Dakolo reacts to Apostle Lazarus gospel musician criticism. And on hardship, Mr. Macaroni blast NYSC over copper intimidation. And on our last story for today, relationship feud. Ife Love responds to Oluwa Dolazi's subtle shade. Yes, these are many more we'll be looking at, ladies and gentlemen. Do not forget that we are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercial. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network, one on X, Atlantic TV Net, and you can also watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Yes, today joining me to give you the juicy juice of today, I have two amazing gentlemen in the building. And ladies and gentlemen, I won't jump the gong. Yeah. Yes, and welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I know now you are seated, waiting for me to introduce reveal my guest. Yes, and I hope you've got a glass of juice to sit back, relax, and listen to the gist of today. So, my first guest, Michael Fowowe, also known as Mr. Vortex, is a renowned creative entrepreneur, dancer, and a philanthropist who is making a lasting impact. He successfully manages artists, drives social change through Project VOM, an initiative empowering orphanage children to develop their talent and create positive impact and lasting change. Hi, Mr. Michael, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Great to have you.
Thank you.
You're looking so nice and gentle.
Thank you.
All right, and yes, that is Mr. Vortex. And my second guest is none other than Yahweh Rodriguez Joshua. Yahweh Rodriguez Joshua is a singer, a podcast host, and a social commentator. Hi, Mr. Yahweh. Mr. Yahweh is looking very demure and very simple. Hi, Mr. Yahweh. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
I like your glasses, by the way.
Thank you.
And I like your jacket too.
Yeah.
I must say, I would want to come to your house and ransack your wardrobe. All right, welcome, gentlemen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get down to the stories for today. Some interesting stories actually making the rounds. Now, Nigerian rapper and an activist, Falz, has reacted to President Tinubu's decision to suspend the governor of Rivers State and declare a state of emergency. In the state, the rapper addressed the situation on X on March 18, 2025, stressing that the decision was unconstitutional. Rivers State, there is absolutely no law that allows a president to suspend a governor. A governor is elected into office and may only be removed by impeachment. Also, is Rivers State at war? Is there actually breakdown of public order? Is there a threat to the existence of the federation? These are the questions he's asking. He also cited the Constitution listing the condition in which a state of emergency is to be declared. The president shall have power to issue a proclamation of a state of emergency only when, he stated, 1, the federation is at war, 2, the federation is in imminent danger of invasion or involvement in a state of war, then the third one, there is actually breakdown of public order and public safety in the federation or any part thereof, to which extent has required extraordinary measures to restore peace and sanity. Now, first off, my first question would be to Mr. Yahweh. Mr. Yahweh, generally, on a general view, what do you make of this particular topic, seeing that, okay, it has sent Rivers State agog?
Okay, yeah, thank you for that question. I would want to read out something that I wrote, with regards to the Constitution. The Constitution, first of all, the action is unconstitutional for it to take immediate effect. Because for it to have proper effect, it has to be approved by the National Assembly. That a proclamation issued by the president under this section shall cease to have effect if it is not approved by a resolution of the National Assembly within 2 days when the National Assembly is not in session.
Okay.
If the National Assembly is in session, then it is done within 10 days. And the National Assembly is in session and nothing was said about it. Same thing too goes with the House of Representatives. House of Representatives is sitting today and nothing about the debacle happening or the suspension and all the state of emergency that the president gave yesterday. Nothing of that sort was mentioned at the floor of the House of Rep. So for me, I feel that the president is going beyond his powers. He's not staying within the confines of the constitution and the fabric of the law of this nation. So I would say that decision on declaring state of emergency is absolutely unconstitutional to mention.
State of emergency unconstitutional. What about the suspension of the governor? If he suspends the governor outside, this is not what he's suspending the governor is outside his jurisdiction, and he does that now.
Not that it's outside his jurisdiction. There are certain things that should happen before that happens. Before the decision is taken on suspending the governor, the deputy governor, and the state house of assembly. You don't have any looming crisis. There is no war. There's no natural disaster. There is no threat of life and property in the state. So I don't know why they are insinuating that the
pipeline. He cited the pipeline blast as one of the reasons.
If we critically look at the pipeline blast, the pipeline blast is also not a threat. It is if you look at it, it's also not a threat because you have the governor, who is the chief security officer of the state, that should be allowed to govern and curb every incident that happens in the state. So for the president to be citing the issue of a pipeline blast as I just feel like it's an unnecessary intervention, and there's no separation of power to allow everybody function as they have been mandated to.
So, Mr. Voters, what's your take on this particular story generally?
All right, thank you for that. I think, like Yahweh rightly said, we just need our River State back. We need our governor to be given the space to work. We need to give him the space to work. Like, this happened yesterday, and it was its immediate effect. Fast is not wrong on his post. It's not wrong at all. It's not wrong, and we feel the people of River State we are the ones suffering it. Like yesterday, if you go to places around my one yesterday, as early as around 6, you see people closing their businesses, rushing home, and in the process of that, so many things can go wrong. So many things can go wrong. Like yesterday, at some point, people try coming out to get some stuffs. Like people that are close from work late, you can't actually get things. And with all this, I just feel the president should actually review his decisions. And like what the president said, he said this will be on for like 6 good months. So for 6 good months, my God, that is really uncalled for. But I just feel Nigerians, we talk a lot, cry our heart out, and it's as if nobody is hearing us. Nobody even cares to listen. So I feel constitutionally, there are processes, but what do we do? This is Nigeria. This is Nigeria. This is Nigeria.
If this is not constitutional, I'll ask this to Mr. Yahweh now. If this is not constitutional, where does this leave the governor of Rivers State at the moment?
For me, I must do well to mention that this is a threat to the democracy of this nation and of our states. That the highest office of the nation cannot seem to uphold the very legal document that binds everybody together. That's our constitution. Because where there's no order, there's disorderliness, there's lawlessness. And if this unconstitutional and proclamations that have been made by the commander-in-chief, I wonder where we are heading to, because it does the section 305 of the Nigerian Constitution doesn't, it's stated clearly. So what is on ground doesn't really it doesn't give you a provision for that proclamation. and for me, it's still unlawful. It's still unconstitutional. But you know, Rivers State, we are very dogged people. I don't really see the Supreme Court doing anything with regards to this if the matter of the case is brought by the Nigerian Bar Association I just hope that it will be looked into, because there's a breach there in the Constitution. It says the House of Assembly and the National House of Assembly and National House of Representatives must sit on the matter and approve it before they will give the go ahead and say, okay, these are the provisions in the constitutions. These what the current happenings have been. They how am I going to put it now? They have fulfilled
those terms,
those provisions and those terms there, and say, okay, this you can go ahead, but it doesn't
at all.
Seeing that this is not constitutional, is the governor suspended at this moment?
Well, it has taken immediate effect, because we could see movement of
the military, yes,
in the state, and it's very obvious that it has gone into immediate effect. And for me, I don't know. I feel that if Nigeria is indeed a country that upholds the constitution and the law, I feel like this thing can be challenged at the highest court, which is the Supreme Court. Because there, for me, it is very obvious and evident that there is a breach in the constitution. Yes.
So Mr. Voters raised a very salient point where he said people were rushing to go get things yesterday. Now, when you come to the entertainment sector, how does this affect the entertainment sector and the tourism sector that we are trying to grow in Rivers State? I will leave that to Mr. Voters. How does this affect the tourism sector and the entertainment sector of the state?
All right, thank you for that. I feel it really affects a lot. It really affects a lot, in the sense that, like yesterday, there were shows that were supposed to happen that evening, and most shows were cancelled. Now, everybody in the state, we are actually operating with so much, let me not use the word fear, but
fear is the word, actually, because people not in Rivers State, apparently not in Rivers State, are feeling like,
yes, I've received calls from people outside the state, just getting to know, hope you guys are good, what is the state of things and all that. And if we must know something, there's one thing that I know with Rivers State, is that Rivers State is a thriving state when it comes to entertainment. And most of the shows, most of our events happens at night. And like I said yesterday, some shows were cancelled. Some events were also cancelled. So for this, it's really going to affect us. When we talk about tourism and all, it will affect us. It's a norm. Even to the layman business, even to that woman that is selling on the street, it will affect. So it's really going to have a huge impact on us, and I just hope there is a way we can skate through this in the next 6 months, because I don't see, like I said, this is Nigeria, so I don't see a reason, I don't see that hope where this can be reversed by as soon as possible. I don't know.
As sad as that is, Mr. Yahweh, can I get your take on that? How do you think this would affect us and investors? Doesn't this, like, in a way, chase away investors that would want to come? Like you see, some weeks ago we had the GMA award and all that. We had a lot of people troop into the state for that event. Now, for people that want to invest in events like that, doesn't this chase? What's their fate? Where do they stand at this particular moment?
It's very sad that our politicians have made sure that their personal and selfish interest supersedes the commonwealth of the people and the collective interest of the prosperity of the state. So they have just let their selfishness, play out. In all of this, and it is very sad, because it is that people outside Rivers State and Port Harcourt sure of power,
power,
it's selfish. You made it. Allow the state to prosper. Allow people. The socioeconomic effect is going to be great because people. It's like you are walking in a landmine where if you step on it, it will explode.
Yeah.
So it's really sad that some of these politicians have put their personal and selfish interests above the collective interest of the Rivers people. The thing is that it's going to affect at least it will take maybe till after Easter, maybe when everybody because nobody is sure of anything. You now have a sole administrator who is a retired military, a retired naval admiral or chief of staff, and all of that. And it's really sad that what is happening. These people really don't have the interest of Rivers people
at heart.
Yeah. Now on the young ones watching this, because this is a Gen Z show, and our sole goal is to teach the young ones how to go and how not to go. Now, events like this happen, and they are watching. Yes, we call them the leaders of tomorrow. We call ourselves the leaders of tomorrow. Advice to young ones that are seeing this, that would one day be leaders of tomorrow. What would your advice to them be?
Well, my advice is.
Well, please hold on that thought. But why like you were like, okay, is there like no future or no hope in this matter? Because the way you said you
the truth is that the kind of change that we want in Nigeria is going to take some time.
Donkey years.
It's going to take maybe 2-3 decades. Yes. Because we need an actual reset. So from everything that's playing out, I just look at it and it's very obvious. It is very obvious that we have people in the arena of politics who will always remain selfish. It is either if it is good for me, then it doesn't matter if it's not good for any other person. If it's good for me, fine. But if it's not good for me, then it's bad. I think that's where that's a huge problem. That's a huge problem. We need a total mind reset. Where people have a heart for other people. You are less selfish. You are thinking about the outcome of the next person. So it's not just because it's good for me, and that's what makes it right. So my advice to young people is be a person of character, or be a people of character. Be a people of godly values, because if you look at the perpetrators of these unfortunate happenings, you can really tell their value system, and their value system doesn't look out for the other people. So you should have people of character, people that have great value system that will be beneficial. So you are not just being you're not just, and apart from being selfish, you have people you have we have religious people, but we also have religious people that are not of good character, not of good conduct, that don't have good virtue. So if we have more people of character, virtue, good value system, then we can say there is hope for the future. If the younger ones still take this same precedence into their own future as they go ahead in life, then there's simply no hope for us.
I pray that is not our case, Mr. Voters.
Tell ourselves that the young people are ready to lead this country. But as it stands now, it's a big problem to us. That is a big problem. And I just hope that we have more people that are ready to make a difference in our world. And with that, I think there is hope.
Be ready to make a difference, and do not be selfish. Two of the most important things I've taken out of this conversation today, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you got that. Next story, ladies and gentlemen, Nigerian singer Timi Dakolo has responded to comments made by Apostle Lazarus, who criticized gospel artists for charging fees to perform at church events. The pastor suggested that ministry should not be commercialized, highlighting a time a singer charged 5 million naira to come and sing for his congregation. His statement sparked debate and reactions within the gospel and gospel financial investment required to sustain their craft. He urged Christians to recognize that beyond its spiritual significance, music is also a profession that demands compensation. He said, and I quote, "My dear Christians, a quote or conversation can sound intelligent and deep yet untrue. Just like everyone else, you deserve the very best thing life has to offer. You should be paid what you deserve. Studio session, production, and promotion cost a lot. You have a family to feed. You have rent to pay. You have more songs to put out. We should stop all these attacks on people's work. As much as it is spiritual, music is an art. If you can't pay people, use your choir members and pay the amount you could have given the gospel artist." I doubt the second part though. The singer also pointed out that churches spend substantial amounts on architecture, event promotion, and pastoral engagements, questioning why musicians are often expected to offer their services for free. He said, "This gaslighting has to stop. Gospel ministers want good things too. They are not beggars. The best of architects are called upon to build big church. Large sum money needs music, and music needs ministry. It takes at least 10 years and change of hours to be an elite musician. Develop your musicians and singers and the singers in your church and pay them well. Leave all this belittling alone. None of these people saying this will fly economy and travel alone to save money for the ministry that invites them to preach. All this was said in love," he said, and I quote. Okay, generally, I will first of all start with Mr. Voltex. Mr. Voltex, generally, what's your take on this particular story?
One leg for a long time.
It's about to crash.
Oh, yo. All right. I think I will start by saying everybody have their opinion, and everybody can give their own opinion about a thing.
Yeah.
Apostle Femi Lazarus was talking from his own perspective,
Okay.
and from what he knows is from what he knows to be ministry conduct and all that. And Timi Dakolo is also speaking for the musicians and but on my own hand, this has been a discussion and a debate I've been having for the past 5 years.
Oh my God.
And I'm not ready to back out on this. In the sense that I always tell people, let's go spiritual about this. I'm a Christian, and there's something about ministry. Ministry is unto God and also unto man.
Okay.
Now, my point is this: I don't have issues with a musician charging, or a dancer charging, or a comedian charging for performing in a church.
Okay.
I stress the word performance.
Okay.
In a church. But if you tell me that God has called me into this ministry, and for me these people cannot afford that money, what happens? The artists end up not going for that event.
Okay.
And if there are souls, I'm talking as a Christian, if there are souls that your ministration in that event was supposed to transform their life, those souls will not be affected.
Because you're not able to make
because you're not able to, and that is simply because you've now money now determines where. I was sharing something with a friend some years back. I invited a brother GUC to my event, and in that event, GUC is a great person. I love him so much, and he did not actually charge me for the event, because then we're still even at our growing stage then. Anyhow, so GUC came to my event, and it was almost time for him to minister. And my manager went to meet him, and like the person in charge of the whole event went to meet him, and like, GC, you're coming up soonest. And GC just responded, I feel led not to minister. Like Holy Spirit just told me not to minister now. And we took it like that is the Holy Spirit speaking to him.
Okay.
But can I ask a question? If I had paid GUC money to minister in that event, and you are there already, you've flown in and all that, and you're there already, and you are telling me, do you think you will have the boldness to even tell the organizers that the Holy Spirit told you not to minister? Most of the times you will have to do it, and at that point you're already disobeying the Holy Spirit. So what is my take on this? If you tell me you're a gospel artist, like I actually attest to that, because I also am a dancer, and for years I've danced. There is no church that can come and tell me that Michael, Mr. Voters have charged me for an event before. But if you invite me to come and perform in your wedding, in a birthday, I will give you a price tag for it. Now, all this is, let's know the place of ministry. Let's know the place of the heart, like a performance of musicianship and all that. Like, this is my service unto God. This is my business. Like, for example, most of these music artists and dancers, most of us have dance studios. We have trainings. We have our dance academies. We have a music studio where people pay money for us to record and to produce their song, and they pay us for this. I was also talking to somebody in respect to keyboardists, drummers that plays in church and all that. I tell people, if you are in a local church, and this church did not stop you from going to do other jobs, from doing other things you do that can move your life forward, I feel you should do that as a service unto God. But if maybe for a service you're missing, and then your pastor is like, why are you missing church? Why are you this? Hey, pastor, you have to do good. Employ this person. Pay this person and let this person remain there, and let the person be on ground, so that the person can actually feed well. This person can actually live their life, because like Timmy Dakolo said, everybody want to live well, everybody want to drive good cars, everybody want to live fine. So if we don't want these people, like I'm talking about instrumentalists and all, if we don't want them missing church or not being available,
Bible. And there is no the music done that he was referring to, the musicians and musicians playing in church.
Yeah.
So I think he was talking about the artists, the recording artists, and the likes of them. To be very honest with you, when it has to do with money, we want to be kept at, we need to be kept afloat.
Okay.
For people that are spending time, money, recording, paying producers, and all of that.
When you say we need to be kept afloat, what do you mean, sir?
So when I say kept afloat, is that people need to profit off their giftings.
Okay.
Yes, people profit off their giftings. I know you say, technology in this day and time has made it easy, from the likes of Spotify, iPhone, iTunes, Apple Music, and the rest of them. The YouTube Music, they generate some sort of revenue. Then down to the issue of people charging, is, for me, people have their reasons. I don't want to be anybody's spokesman. People have their reasons why they charge.
Okay.
And for me, if you don't want to be charged, don't invite the people that you know charge. Call and invite the people that don't charge. I agree with what Timi Dakolo has said.
Okay.
If you don't subscribe to that doctrine, it's fine to do, and you want really, and as a pastor, you really want this person to be part of your program and all of that, you could call the person. If you can afford, no problem. But if you can't afford, don't try to come and play the victim and all of that. If you can't, invest that money on your music department.
Yeah.
If their potential is there, groom them, teach them, nurture the gifting, pay them. You understand? So I feel like they are making lots of rounds with it because of, they call 5 million, they call 4 million, they call 3 million. If it was 200,000 they were calling, I don't think it would have been any sort of issue.
Yeah.
You understand? So when it is, people make a lot of fuss about it because they feel it's ridiculous and all of that. And I really don't have any issue with that. If you feel it, I've experienced it before. You go to minister in some place and the hospitality is zero. They will tell you, you are doing it for God, come, you are done singing, there's no water, there's no handkerchief to just at least clean your face. There's a way people treat you.
Yeah.
There's a way people treat you, even if they don't give you the most fantastic honorariums and the rest. How everybody wants to be treated with some sort of honor and respect. That's why what they give to you is called honorarium. You understand? So for me, honor is not in the amount. Honor is in how it is done. So and one of the things that I've noticed is that people will give you that much big experiences to validate their current actions. Are you going to blame them? I'm not them, but I will not blame them. So everybody wants to. So let me round up with this. You have the likes of Nathaniel Bassey and Dulce saying God told them not to. You understand? God told them not to. Everybody has a different walk with God. If God told you not to, then trust and obey the God that has told you not to collect. If God did not tell you anything, if you don't have that conviction, keep doing what you are doing. That's my own take.
So for people like Dunsin Oyekan and Nathaniel Bassey, like you just mentioned, if you want to do all these things, okay, voters, if you want to do all these things, won't you spend more than even what the 5 million, let's take for instance, they are asking you for if they ask? Or is the problem really the asking?
I think the thing is in the value exchange. So some pastors will tell you, even the people that are paying 5 million, they did not come with any presents, they are not blessed. So they will tell you that's entertainment. You understand? So they feel like, okay, the people that are not charging come with more presents, more fun. That. So everything is in value exchange. So if what you bring there is commensurate to
this period of me, the thing is, where I get this mixed up is in this. Some people will tell you, I'm doing it for God. I'm doing it for the kingdom. If you're doing it, my knowledge of I'm doing it for the kingdom is God has to be the first. So if you are not prioritizing money over that God, that's why I have issues with it. But if you're telling me I'm a gospel artist, it's my business, that's what I'm doing. You charge your money, anybody that can pay you, like we said, they can pay, they pay. But don't tell me you're a gospel artist and you're doing it for God, and you're not telling me there is need for you to pay for me to come and do something I'm doing for God. Then why are you deceiving? Why are you deceiving? So please, I just feel Timi Dakolo is right, Apostle Femi Lazarus is also right, but just that don't confuse us. I'm a gospel artist, that's my business, yes, charge your money, but I'm doing it as this is my ministry. God called me into this. Then let it be a calling unto God and do what you have to do. Thank you.
So if it's your ministry, a calling unto God, let it be free of charge. And if it's your craft, please charge as you can. Things I've taken out of this conversation actually, and thank you to my amazing guests for coming. Really, we have more topics to talk about, but time is against us. This is Mr. Yahweh Rodriguez Joshua and Mr. Voltex. Thank you so much. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget, do not forget them. Don't you forget that we are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercial. You can also connect with us on all our ATN socials. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and do well to use the hashtag ATN Genz on our Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, and Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1 on X, Atlantic TV Network. You can also watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. I am the incredible Eric. They call me the gentleman of the press. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen.